Today, we encounter another of the Flash's established supervillains from the comics. Sort of. Nice of you to join us.
Lines are open, and now for a quick update, here's Stan, the weatherman. And get out your handkerchiefs, folks. We're in for another scorcher tomorrow. Hot and humid with a mercury climbing into the 90s, and there's no relief in sight.
I haven't had any luck identifying the music, but really, it'll be used a lot in this episode, and it really doesn't fit anything unless it's named something related to heat. Anybody know what it is, and can you point me to the full version? A heat wave is sort of appropriate for today's subject matter.
Man, it must be over 100 degrees in here. Can't you do something about it?
Hey, the air conditioning's busted. The repairman's on his way.
Heat's not the problem. Jimmy Swain is the problem.
Not for me, Vega. It's your territory he's making a run at.
Listen, Swain's got his torpedoes working the west side, too, and once he soaks that up, he's gonna move right in on little Hong Kong.
In another month, we'll be squeezed out.
Those guys are the heads of the city's biggest criminal organizations. Jimmy Swain is a guy from out of town who's decided he should be running everything, and so far he has the muscle to start making it happen. But first things first, the air conditioner repairman is here.
Air conditioner's on it, Fritz. Make it cool in here.
Oh, don't you worry about a thing. Cool is my specialty.
That call is Julio telling him to get over to the social club for one of the weirdest cases they've had yet. All four of them are frozen solid and, needless to say, dead. Garfield wants answers. Barry and Julio don't have any. Situation normal. From the position of his fingers on the touchpad, they can figure out that he was trying to call 911. The irony of top crime bosses trying to call the police isn't lost on anyone.
This is close to reporting. It's a violation of my First Amendment rights.
Look,
The public has
nobody
the right
crosses this line without proper authorization.
All right. I get the message. But your name's on my list, Officer Bellows.
I'm sure he'll worry all night about being on her list. And you knew she was going to do that.
Ow! Oh, nice! You have any idea how much a manicure costs these days?
What were you doing under there?
Yeah, well, trying to get past Dirty Harry, not that it's any of your business. Hey, you guys work for the crime lab?
Yeah, not that it's any of your business.
You have to wonder what makes her think treating everyone involved like dirt is going to gain her a hearing. She says she's a reporter, but at the moment she strikes me as 100% attitude and 0% talent.
Right, well, this is great. Listen, I hear you got a couple of human snow cones in there, huh? What do you say? You give me an exclusive, put your name in the paper, a little something for your scrapbook, huh? What do you say? What do you say?
Bellows! Would you escort Lois Lane here back across the police barricade and make sure she stays there?
Yeah? How's this for a headline? Police rough up reporter, huh?
Don't tempt me, lady. Come on, let's go.
Your name is on my list, too. You got that? Watch yourself. Ace!
You're wrong, Barry. Lois Lane would never do that. She appears to think being on her list, whatever that is, should intimidate these guys. One day when I was in my teens, my family and I were at a local swimming area when we found ourselves in conflict with some people who wound up getting kicked out of the place. As they were leaving, one guy pointed at me and said, "I got your number, fella." We all just laughed at him, but I really wish I had been as secure in myself then as I am now. Had I been, I would have looked at him like this and said, "Oh, good, call me anytime, big boy, and I'm yours." I can imagine his reaction, but it would have been great to see it. Oh, well.
I love it. No more infighting over turf. No more slicing the pie so thin you can't even see the wedge on your plate. From now on, this city gonna be run by a single entrepreneur, me.
Oh, no, thank you.
You know, I like the way you clean house.
Say hello to Jimmy Swain. He hired Captain Cold to eliminate those guys. We'll watch him use a handprint scanner to open his vault and pay the man. Most of us know Jeffrey Combs as Weyoun, the Dominion's representative in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. For my part, I'm listening to the voice and accent and comparing them to Weyoun's soft-spoken, quiet approach to treachery and realizing this guy has a range. I do a lot of voices myself, but I have a feeling he could outshine me without half trying. He has another job for the good captain: take out the Flash. As if nobody saw that coming.
Gentlemen, this is Terry Cronenberg, a reporter for the Daily Clarion. Ms. Cronenberg, Julio Mendez, Barry Allen, our forensic scientist.
Yes, Mr. Allen and I have already met. How's your foot?
Just fine. How's your hand?
The Clarion is apparently one of the more reputable papers in town. If their reporters go around stomping on policemen's feet, they won't be for long.
Ms. Cronenberg is on special assignment to do a series of articles about the police. The mayor's office has asked us to extend every courtesy. I'd like you to show her the crime lab and tell her what you do.
But Lieutenant, we're very busy up in the crime lab at the moment.
We are all very busy, Alan, but the chief's office thinks the publicity could be good for us. Need I say more?
Oh, joy and happiness. This walking bundle of aggression is going to shadow them. Maybe we can distract her.
I understand that you're a reporter and that you're doing a story on Central City's finest.
That's right.
Great. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Officer Murphy. I'm somewhat of a legend here in the police department, and of course I'll make myself available for interviews.
Thank you. That's very considerate of you.
I was thinking perhaps over dinner maybe I could tell you some cop stories that really would make Jack the Ripper look like a musical.
Musical comedy.
Yes, no doubt. Why don't you just write your adventures down and I'll read them when you're done.
Guess what Murph's next get-rich-quick scheme is? He's gonna write books and make enough to retire to the Riviera. I'm a good writer. I've written 7 novels. I've published 1, and that one is electronic. There's a link in the description. Breaking into book writing is hard. Everybody has stories inside them. The general public is only interested in a select few, and for the vast majority of us, our stories aren't among the select few. That won't stop Murph, but at least it'll keep him busy for a while.
Dinner, anyone?
Hello.
Well, I heard that you might be working late. I thought you might be hungry, so I've got Chinese, Italian, and Mexican. I have trouble making decisions.
She didn't have any trouble deciding to defy the police and stomp Barry's foot, so I think it's a selective thing.
Well, this is very nice, but really it's not necessary.
All right, look, about the other night, I acted like a jerk. Well, I mean, not so much a jerk as much as I was just sort of pushy. All right, no, actually, to tell you the truth, I was a jerk. You know, but it's my job. I take it very seriously, and it makes me a little aggressive sometimes, and I know that it's a problem, and I've been working on it. I'm actually a lot better. You should have seen me before. Whew. It's a trait. It runs in my family, you know, so what I'm trying to say here is that I'm sorry, okay?
Do you ever breathe?
Rarely. A reporter who talks 3 times as much as she listens isn't a good reporter.
You know, you're smart. I like brains in a man. I think that's sexy.
I think maybe we should eat before the food gets cold.
Yes, he's handsome, hunky, and smart. She's cute and annoying, but she thinks batting her eyes at him will smooth everything over. Barry thinks not. He's still holding out in case Megan Lockhart ever comes back to town. He sent some tissue samples from the dead crime bosses over to Tina for analysis. I really hope the department pays her for all this. Anyway, she's here with some news.
There was a very low level of residual radiation. Nothing too dangerous, but much higher than normal.
What does it mean?
I think those men were frozen by something that uses nuclear energy as a power source.
Sounds like some kind of weapon.
It does, doesn't it?
You're gonna wish you had kept your voices down, but Barry won't have time to think about that.
Let's go.
Bella, what's going on?
Some creep just phoned in. He left 3 packages with bombs in the city, and they're all about to set off in 5 minutes.
Where?
It's not hard for the Flash to zip around town and defuse all the bombs. By the 3rd one, he could use a candy bar, or 10.
Yeah, I knew if I raced you all over town, you'd run out of steam. You look pretty hot. I think I better cool you off.
The beam threw him 10 years into the future. Wait, wrong episode. He managed to dodge that one, but as exhausted as he is and as clever as Captain Cold is, he's in trouble.
Looks like we're gonna have to call this one a draw, huh? Till we meet again.
Spoiler, Barry won't learn a thing from that encounter. 2 more times, Cold will freeze the street or floor under him, and he'll go sliding and crashing into something hard and knock himself silly. And a nice little ricochet froze one of his legs. Tina!
Telling you, that blast went through the suit like it wasn't even there.
Barry, I did some research last night. I think I know where that weapon came from. A company in California have been doing research in biological cryogenics, the freezing of living organisms.
Recently, somebody burgled the place and stole the device they had created. The original Captain Cold was a small-time crook who invented his freeze gun more or less by accident. His name was Leonard Snart, and he had a varied career as a criminal and part-time bounty hunter. Our man here is Leonard Winters with a Y, probably because nobody on the production team could say Snart with a straight face. He's an albino and professional hitman. From what I've been able to find out, he stays true to the general nature and methodology of the comic book villain, so nobody seemed to mind. And those pink eyes are just too much. Outstanding effect.
Last night was a trap. Whoever set those bombs knew the Flash was going to race around town trying to defuse them, and the exertion would exhaust you. I think you should lay low for a while.
Alternate plan? Add a fanny pack to his suit with a couple of T-bone steaks in it so he can recharge in the field. We can guess how her suggestion is going over.
Okay, but I want to be able to keep an eye on you. I've implanted this mini transmitter in your suit's earpiece. It'll allow me to track you.
She did that the first episode. She included sensors to monitor his vitals and everything. Is this an upgrade, or did he break something bumbling around the way he usually does?
Yeah, Crime Lab, Alan speaking.
It's Fosnight.
Yeah, Fosnight, what do you got?
A guy that tried to flush the Flash. It's probably the same gorilla who threw that igloo party at the St. Diogenes Club.
Yeah, no kidding. What's his name?
How about a nickname? Captain Cold.
Ex-mercenary, now he's a hitman.
Captain Cold. What's this guy look like?
It's pretty hard to miss him. He's an albino. But don't let them little pink eyes fool you. The guy's a stone killer.
I think he already proved that. But now for the most important part.
Hitmen have employers, right?
Right. There's a power play brewing in the underworld. Some punk from back east named Jimmy Swain is trying to move in.
He hired Colt to refrigerate the obstacles, and that includes the Flash.
Fosnight likes the Flash, so there's no charge for this information. But Barry just found some more information.
Inquisitor. Inquisitors learned the police and scientists from Star Labs have joined forces to search for a killer with a nuclear-powered freeze weapon.
That's right, she doesn't work for the Clarion, she works for the local tabloid scandal sheet. She lied to Lieutenant Garfield and the chief. He asks Bellows to find him an address on Jimmy Swain. But before he deals with Jimmy, he has someone else to talk to.
Did you write this?
Me? Whatever gave you that idea?
You're the only one who could have heard us talking last night.
Well,
I called the Clarion, they never heard of you. Neither did the mayor's office. You're not here to do a story on the department. That was just a scam. What's it really about?
Well, why don't you call the Department of Public Affairs? I'm sure that they have...
The Flash. That's it, isn't it? You want to do a story about the Flash for the Inquisitor.
She was asking him all kinds of things about the Flash, and he didn't pick up on it. Until now.
No, you don't understand.
The hell I don't. You were pumping me for information last night.
Look, I have tried to get a job with the Clarion for 2 years. I only went to work for the Inquisitor because they'd hire me.
Oh, yeah, the Flash is an alien?
Well, I figured if I could get a real story on the Flash, then maybe the Clarion would give me a chance.
Either you tell Lieutenant Garfield the truth, or I will.
If you have to lie to accomplish your goal, you need a better goal. She is burning every bridge in the place, and she doesn't have a clue. She's not a reporter. She's your basic hack. Anything to get the most titillating story and hang the ethics.
You said the Flash was gonna be dead in 24 hours. What happened?
Well, he was faster than I thought. But don't worry about it. Don't get upset. It won't happen again.
Jimmy says, I know you won't. You're fired.
We have a contract.
I'm canceling it. You generate too much publicity.
Well, what about the rest of my money?
The other half was on delivery. You didn't deliver.
Okay. That's the way you want it.
He's dead. We all know it. In fact, he's the only one who doesn't know it yet. The captain has a parting gift for him just to show there's no hard feelings.
See you around.
Shortchanging a hitman is not a good idea. He smashes the frozen safe door, but unlike Jimmy, he has principles. The safe is loaded with cash, but he only takes the other half of the fee they agreed on. He's a killer, not a common thief.
You know, that's the trouble with the world these days, Mr. Swain. People have forgotten about honor and commitment. Nobody cancels a contract with me. Once I take a job, I always finish it.
I don't think he can hear you. Michael Champion is genuinely scary in this role. He pulled off the stone-cold murderer who never gets ruffled perfectly. He was a character actor right up to his death in 2021, but he's equally known as a musician and especially a songwriter. Among other things, he co-wrote 4 songs for Meatloaf's first album under the name Mike Campbell. Campbell was one of his 2 middle names, if anybody's wondering. His talent seemed to have had no end. Hollywood took a toll on him, but he got sober, became a Christian, and moved to Casper, Wyoming, where he helped countless other people get sober and otherwise was an all-around great guy. I've been to Casper. In fact, when my daughter spent 5th grade in a mental hospital, it was in Casper. So I'm familiar with the town. Moving there probably would have felt like being exiled to Stinky Town to me, but he seems to have liked it. He died there of unknown causes in 1974. I think anybody who sees him in this role is likely never to forget him.
Hey, Barry, where you been, man? Got work to do. The Iceman struck again.
Where? Remember that guy you asked Bellows to locate, Jimmy Swain? Well, they found him in an apartment at Bradbury Arms, frozen solid.
Jimmy Swain?
Yeah, but that's not all. Garfield just got a call on another one. Somebody found an ice stiff at the metalworks. It's on Sturgeon Street.
I'll take Sturgeon Street.
I'll take Bradbury Arms, then.
Barry will get there the quick way, of course. He doesn't know Captain Cold has a scanner that tracks anything moving through the city at 200 miles an hour or more. He knows right where the Flash is.
Gotcha. Great makeup, huh? Feels sort of like a Christmas tree.
Are you out of your mind?
Oh, hi. Listen, I'm Terry Cronenberg. I'm a reporter. I know that you're a very busy guy. I really only need like 5 minutes for an interview, okay? It'd be really important to me, and I'm sure that you wouldn't mind.
Oh, you stupid, stupid person. For one thing, it's not an interview until you ask him a question and then shut up long enough for him to answer.
So, what's the deal? Do you sleep in the suit or you wear pajamas?
Get these cuffs off of me.
No way, pal. Not till I get my interview.
Are you gonna give me the key or do I have to search you?
Well, that sounds like fun, but I don't have it on me. I hid it somewhere in the city limits, so you can either give me my interview or we can search the whole city.
I've got a better option. Hypothermia.
Remember what I said about slippery floors? Not that he had much choice. Little Miss Dipwad saw to that. Funny thing, she can suddenly produce the key and unchain herself from his unconscious form. It's a teleportation miracle.
This just isn't your night.
When we say an item is flash frozen, that's not what we mean. Everybody's favorite nitwit has been standing off to the side taking pictures.
Harry, my God! Where are you?
Sorry. No witness.
Albino folks tend to have sensitive eyes. There's all kinds of science to explain why, and nobody cares. Terry got away. Captain Cold has to slip away because that hurt like nothing that could ever be described to someone who hasn't felt it. And Tina's on her way to collect the Flash and save his life.
Clarion. Hi, I need to talk to the news editor.
Sorry, he's gone home for the day.
Well, you better find him and fast. Tell him to dig out his checkbook. Somebody just killed the Flash, and I got pictures of it.
Never mind that they're evidence of a murder. This is about money and self-promotion. Gotta have priorities.
Come on, let's go! Get the body to the forensics fast! Let's go! Get it in there! Perfect! Fellows, inside! Come on! Get your hand over here. Yeah. On the radio. Over here.
Tina just stole that ambulance. Don't worry, she's a good citizen. She'll return it when she's done with it. Her equipment manages to thaw and revive Barry, but he's not doing all that great. He needs rest and probably food. The whole thing about his ravenous appetite has kind of disappeared, but I think it's supposed to be there in the backs of our minds. I can't see clear around there, so I don't know if it actually is or not.
I could see everything. He was standing over me, grinning, and then he went for Terry.
Terry Cronenberg, she was there?
He's gonna kill her.
Barry, you're in no shape.
Just call the station, all right? Tell him to get to her apartment.
He's not wrong about the captain's intentions, but he may be mistaken about his ability to save her. Still, I understand why he has to try.
National Inquisitor.
Yes, this is Hogan Film Labs. We have a rush delivery for one of your reporters, a Miss Terry Cronenberg, but we've seemed to have misplaced the address.
In the pre-9/11 world, you could get away with stuff like that. Today, such a call would be met with tons of questions and refusals based on privacy. And at any reputable paper, they would also question the idea that she sent the film out. Every reporter on their staff is likely to have their own darkroom. When you have really good shots, you don't entrust them to anybody else. Now, it's true that Hazel is a more professional reporter than Terry is, but at least Terry does do her own developing.
Miss Cronenberg, it's Jason from Central City Courier, here to pick up your pictures.
I told the Clarion not to pick him up for another hour.
Well, I can't wait. I'm here.
She's developing the pictures. Too bad she's never developed any instincts for trouble, because that's not the guy from the Clarion at the door.
You ordered some ice?
What's the matter? Don't you want to come out and play?
This is just a dumb girl, dumb enough to deliver the Flash to him, so he'll take his time and enjoy this.
I know you're in there. I can smell your cheap perfume.
He doesn't realize that perfume rubs off onto clothing. Maybe he's not the intellectual I thought he was.
Hello there.
I have to take a moment to comment on that couch. I get the feeling that was somebody's idea of what a wannabe hippie would sit on. Or else the prop department was cleaning house and stuck a bunch of random parts together. Either way, would you be seen sitting on that?
Oh, look at what you've done. You ruined all my photos. You know, I could have got 10,000 bucks for those pictures of you and Mr. Ice Cube here. Oh, thanks a lot. There goes my career.
Wait a minute. You mean to say you had pictures of Captain Cold and you didn't call the police?
That's called withholding evidence of a crime, and it's the kind of thing that sends you to jail. She is so far up her own ambitions, she never thinks about things like that.
Yeah, well, they would have seen him on the front page of the Clarion.
I don't believe you. All you care about is your money and your career. You almost got us killed.
No, I didn't mean to...
You didn't mean to what? To be an unprincipled, manipulative brat who thinks the truth is something to be twisted to get what you want? If you really want to be a good reporter, you have to learn to care about the truth and about people. The police will be here for him.
At the police station, Murph is escorting Captain Cold to a cell.
I'm gonna need your glasses.
But my eyes are very sensitive to the light.
Yeah, well then keep them shut. I need your glasses.
If you wish.
No, you keep them.
Not only is he supposed to take the glasses, he's supposed to take shoelaces and anything else the prisoner might harm himself with. But Murph is too weirded out. That seems a little out of character considering all his great exploits.
There I stood face to face with the madman known as the Ghost. He had kidnapped my girl, killed my partner, and shot my dog. Now it was time for him to learn the real meaning of Murphy's Law.
Hey. Private property, huh? Come on, you guys will just have to wait for the hardcover edition like the rest of the world, all right? Don't you have donuts to eat and coffee to ruin? Anything? Come on.
Yeah, I had no idea you were such a hero, Murph. I mean, with a guy like you around, who needs the flash?
He calls it artistic license. The rest of them call it fiction, or worse. So how many ways does Captain Cold have to get out of that cell that Murph didn't find? I told him to take the glasses. Something in that piece will actually burn through the lock. It's not hard to guess what the other things are for.
Hey, you.
Hey, you.
As I said, Tina must have assumed Captain Cold would escape because she's helping Barry prepare a defense against him.
It's a portable heating unit we've been experimenting with for work in Arctic conditions. If you're hit with a blast of cold air, it'll instantaneously stabilize your body temperature with a blast of heat. But with the sub-zero temperatures that Captain Cold can create, it'll probably only work once.
Well, let's hope that once is all I'll need.
I've been studying the properties of his freeze gun. A hard reflective surface may bounce the ice beam away.
Thanks, I'll remember.
In an ideal world, he won't need it at all. But this isn't an ideal world, and neither is the one on our screens.
Find him. Murphy! Yes, sir. Did you search Winters thoroughly before you put him in lockup?
Absolutely, stem to stern.
Obviously not good enough. You're on report.
It's not often a pair of glasses bites someone in the butt. The dealership offered him the upgraded security system, but he didn't want to pay extra. So now some randy random is bopping down the street. He sees a friend a little ways off and whistles at him, and this trunk opens. Not to mention, if the car has been sitting at that parking meter long enough, a cop might whistle for a tow truck, and then...
Come on,
on, Murph. You don't have to prove anything to anybody.
Because of me, he escaped. I'm the guy that screwed it up. Boy, were you right, partner. You know, that Murphy's Law. More like Murphy's Guffaw.
Look, I didn't say that, okay?
He defeated the Flash. What's Murph going to do? Still, that little come-to-Jesus encounter with Garfield stung him hard. He has to make up for it. No grandiose stories, no taking credit for other people's work. This is real. This is about convincing himself, nobody else. And Bellows, if you're any kind of partner, you'd better get out there with him and have his back. Captain Cold freezes a bus full of people to draw the Flash out. It may or may not work. The Flash has his own issues.
Dana, listen, I'm okay, all right? I'm okay. I have a little cold, that's all.
Well, you don't sound okay. Look, I want you to stay in bed and take care of yourself. And no flashing around or you'll end up with pneumonia.
Yes, Bob.
I am not your mother.
Oh.
She's not your mom, she's your keeper. Somebody has to be. You're incapable of living in the wild on your own. And when your nose runs at super speed, it takes a lot of tissues to keep up with it. You thought I was joking.
Listen, I'm not feeling very well. Could you come back later?
Oh, Barry, I really need to talk to you. This is just going to take a minute.
Oh, please do barge right in after being asked not to. She didn't learn a thing from the Flash's little reaming, did she?
I was a real louse, and I know it. You were so nice to me, and you trusted me, and I just lied to you, and there's really no excuse. I was only thinking of myself, you know. I wasn't even thinking of anybody else. It's just that my job is so important to me.
Here's a tip you can take to the bank. If you say, I'm sorry, but you're not sorry. Your goal is to justify yourself. I don't care what the excuse is, you're still making it all about you, not about the person you offended. If you're going to apologize, apologize. But leave yourself out of it. Mean it or don't say it at all. Half an apology is worse than none at all.
You know, and I really wanted to get a big story, so...
What? Friend of yours?
No, Barry, it's a friend of yours. It's Julio telling him about the frozen bus. Captain Cold says if the Flash doesn't meet him, he'll let the people die. Garfield thinks our two lab guys might be able to come up with a way to save them. Barry tells him, I'll meet you there.
Oh, this could be a big story.
You, goodbye.
No, I'm coming with you.
What do you mean you're coming with me? I've got work to do.
Well, I can help.
Look, you could get hurt.
You don't understand. Danger is my business.
No, you don't understand that he's heard that line before. And you're not allowed to watch him change clothes. He just got the carpet shampooed and he doesn't need you drooling all over them.
What's the matter? Didn't you get to play in the snow when you were a kid?
I like that. That's good. Yeah, I knew you wouldn't turn down my little invitation.
I'm only here long enough to see that you're put back in jail where you belong.
Oh, really? Well, then why don't you just come and get me? What's the matter? Oh, don't tell me you're afraid of little ice.
Speaking of people who never learn, that's slip and slide number 3 as I promised. This time both his calves are frozen.
I'm gonna use full power, so you don't walk away again.
Maybe I'm warming up to you after all.
He was partly right. Somebody isn't walking away from this. I don't need to point out that the comics didn't kill him off after his first appearance. If the show had gotten a second season, might he have survived and come back? Now about that bus.
How'd you do it, Murphy?
Being Murph, he'll bluster a little, but he can't take credit for this.
Go on, Murph.
No, nuts. Truth is, I didn't do anything. All I saw was a streak of red and a blaze of lightning.
And it was the Flash.
You're just gonna have to read about that in my book, my new book, The Scarlet Speedster and Me.
Somebody pinch me. Murphy saw the Flash for himself.
I didn't say that.
But you
Wait
just...
a minute. You're gonna have to read about it in the book, but in your case, Bellows, the comic book version, okay?
You can't fault him for that. Trying to make money while doing nothing is the American way. But Murph finally seeing the Flash feels like the end of an era.
Lousy heat waves. Okay, somebody call the coroner to pick this guy up before he melts. On the other hand, maybe better call the good humor man.
To most of the country outside the East Coast, that means the ice cream man, whatever brand he may sell. From the 1930s through about 1961, the phrase good humor man found its way into the American vocabulary, even in those places where the company didn't have any franchises. The good humor brand is still around in some places, but the trucks are pretty well a thing of the past. Starting in the 60s and beyond, massive competition came along, and even though they were pretty much the original, they got squeezed out and eventually chose to lose the curbside business and concentrate on having their products in grocery stores. Up to this point, it seems to be working because they're holding their own as far as I can tell. The company has changed hands multiple times, so sometimes you need a study guide to figure out what's going on, assuming you care. But if Central City had a good humor man in 1990, that's a fair confirmation that it's somewhere near the East Coast. DC never liked to be nailed down much more than that.
You know, I finally figured out who the Flash is.
You did?
Mm-hmm. I still think he's a cop. Someone you wouldn't suspect in a million years.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He's a nice guy. He's friendly, concerned. Works at the crime lab.
The crime lab?
Mm-hmm. Julio Mendez.
She did notice that Julio is black and the Flash isn't.
Julio?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God, really? Julio?
Yeah, the way I see it, he puts on a little makeup, a little padding under his suit. That way he figures no one will even suspect.
Lady, I doubt there's enough makeup on the planet to make Julio pass for a tall guy. And I really don't think he's interested in trying.
You know, I want to thank you. Between you and the Flash, I've had to take a good, long, hard look at myself and my career. I quit my job at the Inquisitor.
You did? What are you gonna do?
You're looking at the newest writer for the Happy Times greeting card company. Card for every occasion.
That's more her speed, and I'm not sure you can get yourself into lethal trouble writing birthday cards.
Okay. Roses are red, violets are blue. If you don't pay our bill, our company will sue.
Of course, I could be mistaken.
Hey friends, I hope you're enjoying my look at The Flash. If you like it, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. If you really like it, consider becoming a patron. $2 a month gets you extra content like Hogan's Heroes and It's About Time. $5 a month gets you that and more, so take a look. The link is down there in the description. I also do lots of other stuff, so take a moment to look it over. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Interested in a select... Boy, I felt that one breaking down. That won't stop. Rarely. As exhausted as he has... like a bund that guy, very yes, I heard you. That won't stop Merp. Yeah.